Hey, my name is Jenessa, and I've been a professional jewelry maker for 20 years now, and I'm also the creator of the Jewelry Obsessed, where I teach jewelry making. In this graver sharpening tutorial, I'm focusing on three key things. Number one is simplicity. If math was never your strong suit or you still count on your fingers, this graver sharpening tutorial is for you. I'm breaking things down to the simplest way so you can start improving your engraving skills without overcomplicating things. Number two, the tools I'm using require about a $2,200 investment. And yeah, I know that's a lot of money, but if you're serious about building a professional jewelry studio, you're likely going to need these eventually. If now is not the time and your budget is tight, don't worry. I've got a more affordable graver sharpening option for you, and I'll link that video below. And number three, your time is valuable. I don't want to waste it, so let's get started sharpening your graver. Here are the tools that I'll be using in this tutorial. This is a power hone with dual angle sharpening fixture that I purchased from GRS. The package also comes with a set of diamond wheels, and it comes in a 260 grit, 600 and 1200 grit, and the whole package costs around $1,700. You'll also need to purchase a ceramic lap wheel for final polish. I also got that at GRS, and that was $279. You'll need a diamond spray for that wheel. This is around $44. And then just a bottle of water to spray on your diamond wheels to keep the dust down. And here is my favorite graver blank. This is a Lindsay Carbalt graver blank. And you can get a set of 5 for about $100. And I'll link all of that in the section below. First off, what is a graver and what will it do for your jewelry making? A graver is like a little knife that cuts patterns into polished metal. And not only will it improve your polishing, but it will also allow you to tackle more advanced techniques like hand engraving. Here, I will teach you how to cut my 3 most used gravers, a 70 and a 90, which you'll use for polishing and cutting borders, and also a 110 degree, which you can use to start practicing hand engraving. Let's start cutting. The first angle we're going to cut is the face angle. Step 1 is to place your blank graver into the sharpening fixture, and you tighten it inside the yaw, which is part of the sharpening fixture that tilts side to side and determines the V angle you are cutting. This is important. Set it to 0. The second part of the sharpening fixture is called the loft, which moves up and down and determines how steep your cutting angle is. I remember this by thinking soccer or football punter. Lofting a ball is a way to remember it. The first angle you will cut is the face angle. This flat polished surface always faces up when you engrave. The face angle is always cut at a 45 degree loft for a 90 and a 110 degree graver. In this tutorial, I'm cutting a 70 degree, so my face angle is slightly steeper at a 50 to help prevent my point from chipping. This is the only time you ever change the face angle. When you're ready to sharpen, you're going to place your graver on a 260 degree diamond wheel and start sharpening. I like to move it back and forth with gentle pressure, and I also spray with water to keep the dust down. I should also mention that wearing gloves or a dust mask is definitely recommended to protect yourself from all of the dust and debris that can come when you're sharpening a graver. When you have a nice flat face angle, you can stop at 260 because at this point we're just roughing in, and now we're going to move to the back relief angles that'll actually determine your V angle you're cutting. Zero everything up. You'll see the hole for the pin. You'll see the 0 line, and we want to actually hit 2.5. Because this fixture goes in 5 degree increments, I just tend to round everything up just to make everything easier for me. I go between a 0 and a 5, which is around 2.5. And since I'm cutting a 70 degree right now, I want to turn my yaw to 50. And just keep it moving until you've ground probably at least an inch along the back. And then when I'm done cutting that, I will go to 0 again and go to -50. And that's how you cut a 70-degree relief angle. If you want to do a 90, your yaw is going to be a 40 and then negative 40. If you want to do a 110, your yaw is going to be a 30 and negative 30. Your two relief angles only need to be taken to a 260 grit. They do not need to be taken to a high polish, but your face angle does. So we're now going to go back to your face angle and take that to a high polish. Do you remember the degree? If you're doing a 90 or a 110, you're going to go to 45. But since we're cutting a 70, we want that a little bit steeper, so I'm going to stop that at a 50. And this time you're going to take it to a polish. So I'm going to go 260. $600 up to $1,200, and then you're going to put it on the ceramic wheel. So with the ceramic wheel, you're going to want a little diamond spray. Then gently move it along the ceramic wheel. And that should bring your face to a high polish. Now you're going to learn how to cut the graver heel using my light-based method. After you've taken your face angle to a high polish, we are going to cut probably the most important part of the graver, and that's the heel. And the heel is always at a 15 degree. So we're just going to zero it and then taking it to 15. Tighten it. And then the way I cut my heel is a little bit unique. I keep this nice and loose, and then I put it on the fixture. And then I use a method where I use my phone to put light behind it just to make sure everything is completely flat, and I'll show you how I do that. I use my light-based method to visually adjust the yaw and ensure the heel is level. Because there is no light shining through, I know it's level and I tighten the yaw. Here it is up close. I'm slowly rotating the yaw almost as if I'm slowly closing a door until there is zero light shining through. You're then going to gently lift your graver off the hone before you turn it on. And then you gently sway the graver across the ceramic wheel. And I only use this wheel for this step, and you're going to want to check it quite often. Ideally, your graver is around 3/10 of a millimeter, but you want to have a nice substantial flash of light, and that's when you know that it's at the perfect heel length. You're then going to loosen the yaw and rotate the heel to the opposite side and do the same light method to this heel. Here you can see the heel's level, and I'll just rotate a bit so you can see how I do it again. Slowly rotate, hinge it until you don't see any more light behind it. Once it's level, you're going to tighten the yaw, and don't forget to raise your graver before you start it, and gently push the heel back and forth on the ceramic wheel. Now that your heels are polished, there's one final step in the graver cutting process. Now we'll cut a taper, which will allow your graver to act like a delicate pencil. Let's zero it and take it to 10. And what we actually want to cut. So we want to cut this top line first. So I'm going to take it to 0 all the way on the other side. So I'm actually looking at my heels. This is only going to go through one diamond wheel, the 260, just a really rough cut. And here's the finished top taper. And now we'll cut the two side angles. We're going to keep the loft the same at 10. But we are going to move this one to 45, do a rough cut at 260, there's your second angle, and now we're just going to take this to negative 45 on the other side and cut that at 260 grit. here's the finished graver. This will take your polishing and engraving to the next level. Thank you so much for watching my graver sharpening tutorial. I hope it inspires you to start engraving. Master this and you'll soon be on your way to advanced jewelry making techniques. If you want to learn more about professional jewelry making, subscribe to my channel or join my newsletter. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching.